The Bob Iger Company, I mean the Walt Disney Company, is working very hard at keeping Nelson Peltz, Ike Perlmutter, Rasulo, and maybe even Elon Musk out of the ears of investors. But it's not the big institutional investors that Disney seems to be worried about. And when it comes to the average individuals out there who hold Disney stock that might be ready to lead a revolt against Bob Iger, Disney is employing a very novel strategy that we've seen out of no other company in the world. They're using a duck. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. We're happy to have you. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. If you are watching this video at said time, and you know what? Whatever time of day it is for you, we hope it's a wonderful one out there. Life is short, so make it count. And here we have a short video for you explaining what's going on with the Walt Disney Company, which we think merits your attention. Thus, we do the video because, well, Disney holds so many of those mythologies that we think are important for society. And so we follow this company closely. And what they're doing right now is they are attempting in every way possible to pull up to prevent the the raiders from coming in. And what do those raiders want to do? What does that evil Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter and Rasulo and maybe Elon Musk, what do they do? What do they want to do? Moderate the company. Bring it back to the sensible center. That's what they want to do. Battle for Disney's future heats up. Company sets meeting date. This is an article out of Reuters by Don Chmielewski and Sve Herbst-Bayless. This one gives us a quick rundown, but the big news is on the next article. So hang tight. Let's provide the context, and then we'll get to it. Walt Disney's battle with activist investor Nelson Peltz heated up on Thursday when the hedge fund manager said his candidates to the entertainment company's board of directors were better suited to plan for life after CEO Bob Iger than two current board members. It needs to be said, too, that the way that he did that, the way that Nelson Peltz did that, pretty inflammatory towards the board members, and unfortunately for Disney, also pretty darn accurate, alleging that there are spousal connections that manage to get people on the board rather than actual meritorious ability. Disney set the shareholder meeting for April 3rd when investors will get to say in who guides the entertainment and media giant's future. It reiterated that Iger, 72, who returned to the CEO position after his handpicked successor was fired in 2022, will leave at the end of 2026 and noted that his contract has been extended. Bob Iger will not leave in 2026, folks. And that's not in any way a controversial statement. It's not even up for question. I mean, now Bob Iger could leave for health reasons or, and we don't wish any of that sort of thing. Tragedies happen in life. But Bob Iger is not slated to leave the company in 2026. Bob Iger has a consultation gig that keeps him in the C-suite into the 2030s. So Bob Iger is not going anywhere. It's that CEO position that he'll leave, allegedly. The problem there is whoever becomes the CEO has to look at Bob Chapek and what went on with that situation, which was that Bob Iger essentially ran the company with a shadow CEO position behind the scenes and then kicked out Chapek as soon as he did not follow along with Bob Iger's, late in CEO tenure found far left views of the company. And we don't say that lightly. We're not trying to be incendiary with that. We're trying to say Bob Iger has pushed this company extremely far to the left, and he didn't do that in the beginning of his CEO tenure. He was more interested in acquisitions. Later on, he pushed the company very, very far to the left, to the point of inserting propagandistic kind of material into children's content. That's what he's been up to. Both the board and Bob remain actively engaged in the high-priority work of succession planning, the company said. In other words, we promise we'll get rid of Bobby. Those promises do not impress Peltz, the octogenarian billionaire pushing the home of Mickey Mouse to cut costs, create a profitable streaming business, improve the performance of its movie studio, and clean up its succession planning. He said in a letter to investors the company's strategic missteps can be laid at the feet of its board. And again, Nelson Peltz has directly went after the board and after Bob Iger. He's also brought the receipts. I mean, it's very hard to argue against what he's saying when he demonstrates how poorly this board has operated versus the rest of the S&P 500. It is very difficult to have any kind of counter statement to it. It is what it is. Let's go to the big news, though. This is the Hollywood Reporter. This is why you come to this channel, is because you want things parsed out and explained that it's understood at the highest levels of Disney, but they don't really talk about it in public, and certainly the journalists are not going to tell you about this. That's why you come to this channel. We'll tell you what this means. Caitlin Huston, or Houston, but we'll go with Huston, is the author here. Disney enlists Professor Ludwig von Drake to help fend off activist investors. The Mouse House is fending off a proxy fight from Nelson Peltz and his Trian partners, as well as Blackwell's Capital. They're a non-player. They're just doing it for kicks and giggles, and using the animated character to tell shareholders how to vote. Now, this actually matters. I know this seems silly and ludicrous. It actually matters. Okay, here's what. Let's read it first, and I'll explain. Disney is calling on Professor Ludwig von Drake as its reinforcement in its board battle against Nelson Peltz and his Trian partners. The media and entertainment giant released an animated video. Now, let's think about that. Animated videos cost money, so whatever you might think about how silly this is, Disney spent money on this. Released an animated video Monday. By the way, remember, they can't draw either at Disney anymore. Urging shareholders to vote, but only for the company's preferred board members. The Austrian duck, who is uncle to Donald, and an expert on many subjects in the Disney universe, guides the shareholders through the voting process that kicks off ahead of the April 3rd shareholder meeting. You got to hire the voice artist to come back in and do this. You've got to get the animators working on this. So they spent time, they spent money on it. Why'd they do it? We'll tell you in just a moment. In the video, which also pulls in other classic Disney animation and muses from Hercules, the voiceover repeatedly emphasizes the company's preferred method of voting, which involves selecting its 12 nominees who appear on a white proxy card, while suggesting that voting any other way is incorrect. Now let's think about that again too. Disney is literally putting out material in animated form that says that if you don't vote exactly this way, it's wrong. It's not a white paper necessarily, folks. This is getting in a very gray area. Remember, it's important you vote only for Disney's 12 nominees while using the white proxy card. Do not vote for the Trian Group or Blackwell's nominees, the video states. Voting this year is critical, no matter how many or how few shares you may own. I believe that suggests that Disney is panicked. Asked about what to do with the blue or green cards, the video states that shareholders may simply discard them. Remember, it's important you vote only for Disney's 12 nominees using the white proxy card. Do not vote for the Trian Group or Blackwell's nominees, the video again repeats. You know, Nelson Peltz and Elon Musk and Rasulo, Ike Perlmutter, they may not want to break the glass. Disney is making that awfully hard. Let me tell you what's going on with this duck. And frankly, this gets down to just how much Disney will abuse their classic characters for whatever end they see fit, whether that is propagandizing children or whether that is instructing shareholders to mindlessly do what Disney says, and that if you don't do that, it's wrong. Here's what's going on with the duck. Is this duck in this animated video for Vanguard? No, it is not. Is this animated video for BlackRock? No, it is not. This animated duck is for, and I hate to put it this way, but I'm going to have to, okay? Disney assesses that they have a not insignificant number of low-resolution thinkers that own stocks, in my estimation. And Disney thinks that a cartoon duck is the way to convince their very low IQ shareholders to vote with them. And as opposed to in the past when Disney had enough institutional backing that they could fend off a proxy war easily, apparently Disney thinks this is a real threat, enough that they'll spend money. By the way, shareholder money. There are some really ethical questions about this. Major ethical questions about this. But they'll spend shareholder money, right? The company's money on producing a cartoon duck to walk through how to vote. Again, it's not for the institutional investors. It is not for those of you out there who watch this channel who are savvy. You're not in this category whatsoever. This is for people who don't think very much, who love Disney, who are pixie dusters, and Disney has decided these low resolution thinkers that they're the ones to go after. They can be the line in the sand. They can be the ones who help them pull up the drawbridge to the castle and prevent Nelson Peltz from riding in. It's a cartoon duck to the rescue. Folks, this is how much Bob Iger and the board think of some of their shareholders. Rather than giving them a professional presentation, rather than telling them the merits of right and wrong and showing them how well the company has done, they decided that the IQ of their most stalwart fans, their biggest fans, their shareholders, that those individuals deserve a cartoon duck telling them to just check every box on the white paper, discard the others, And if you do anything else, you're wrong. That's how much mental capacity Disney believes that their most ardent fans have. That's the story for today. But folks, there is so much more on the way. Tomorrow, we have the Disney earnings call. And if you thought Disney was panicked today, wait until tomorrow. Let's see how things go. Also, heads up, folks, we don't give financial advice here. But if you've been watching the Disney stock go up, we told you on this channel that that's what we anticipated. And the reason that we anticipate that is because we're in the midst of a proxy battle. That means that folks are going to want to buy stocks. Some folks, not you, not me, maybe. But some folks out there apparently want to buy the stock because they're trying to get ahead of this proxy battle where there may be a fight and the stock may go up as a result of people buying stocks to try to win the proxy battle. So that's happening. Again, no financial advice here. Talk to a financial advisor on your end if you want to get any kind of reputable financial advice. What do we know here on this channel? Not a thing, not a thing. Don't listen to us. But you might want to listen to us for the earnings call. We'll do the pro show tomorrow. That is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll go to Valiant Renegade at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the live call. So much stuff on the way. So much to talk about. Elon Musk, what will happen? Could be breaking news. Pro show Tuesdays at noon Eastern. Don't forget it. All right, folks, that's it for us today. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we hope that this, you see what Disney thinks about the folks who support them now. Give them the duck. It's not what we think about you guys out there, I'll just tell you. All right, like, share, subscribe. When you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing. And as always, keep having fun. Hey folks, don't forget that this Wednesday, February 7th, coverage of the Disney earnings call begins at noon Eastern with Midnight's Edge, followed by a special edition of the Pro Show, a pre-show of what we can expect to see, as well as coverage from Valiant Renegade beginning at 4 p.m., where the earnings report will happen live during the show with post-show analysis. Don't miss a moment.